guys, how y'all doing this late Monday evening? This is the Club of the Man 1993, and we are here live. I believe it's the first time in a long time I've gone live late on a Monday night. Of course, I was at one point before I started working full time, having to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning. Um, um, but this week I'm giving a little bit of an exception. If it was Raw I had to talk about, I would definitely not be doing this review. But of course, from the pay-per-views this weekend and just a bunch of other stuff I had going on, unfortunately got behind and did not get to catch AEW. That of course is being moved around on TNT right now because of the NBA. So because of that, I watched parts of it yesterday. And then I was watching it the day after work and was hoping to get caught up with this review before Raw. Unfortunately, my internet streaming was acting weird, so I didn't finish till like 7:40, 7:45, and I was interested to see what was going to happen on Raw tonight, so unfortunately I didn't get to do it then. But that way I'm not even more behind, and that way tomorrow I can just review Raw, because I have other stuff I have to work on right now, because I have had 2 wedding videos got to edit. So I'm going to catch up with Dynamite tonight. And overall, gotta say, it was a really good episode of Dynamite. Especially that ending. A lot of people are praising that ending for sure. We had some good promos to build for the match with MJF and John Moxley. We also had built for matches that I thought were going to be taking place at All Out, but apparently not. We're going to be taking place on next week's episode of Dynamite, this coming Thursday, August 27th will be the next episode of Dynamite. We had another match made official for the AEW Women's title that, I'm not too familiar with the person who's challenging Hikaru Shida for the Women's title, but I am interested to see for sure. And then, of course, it was announced that next week also, we're having a gauntlet match to determine who's going to face the Elites, Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page at All Out for the AEW World Tag Team Championships as well. But still, had a lot of great things happening, including a shocking title defense at the end of the show. So let's talk about the show, because once again, I don't want to be up here super duper late because I'm going to have to get up for work tomorrow. So, live chat, we got Tyler. What's up, Tyler? That was out of nowhere in the main event, and he watched AEW first, then NXT TakeOver second. That's fine, what you want to do. If I wasn't doing live reactions, I probably would have done the same thing, but again, I was doing live reactions, wanted to do it in real time, that way I get good views, which I did, pretty much, on my live reactions. And again, my live streams have continued to grow and get some pretty good views on them lately, so again, I thank you guys for that, for sure. But let's roll into this review and talk about this. We opened up with a tag match with Private Party and FTR, who had just turned heel on the previous episode of Dynamite whenever they attacked the Rock and Roll Express, obviously making a statement as they want to be considered the best tag team in the world, which easily them going to NXT, I think, has, put them high up there with the Young Bucks and other tag teams that are just amazing around the world. Of course, even WWE, they were great, but of course, main roster just was trying to turn them into a comedy act. So, they got out of there, went to AEW, where they should have gone, and now they're getting ready to, probably first not quite going the route I thought they were going to go. We'll talk about that when they have a segment later where we're talking about the gauntlet. But even Private Party I thought looked really good in this match, too. Again, it just shows that, when Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood are booked properly, not only did they look great, but they can make their opponents look excellent as well. Just as, American Alpha or DIY, and several other great tag teams they face. Enzo and Cass, even though, of course, I'm not really a big fan of them anymore, especially Enzo, but they made all their opponents look excellent. Even on the main roster, facing Bobby Roode and Chad Gable, when they were allowed to go out and be themselves and have good matches, they made them look good as well. So props to them, definitely making Private Party look great. FTR wins though but then also Tully Blanchard interfered later in the match, and it is revealed that Tully Blanchard's now basically their manager. Works for me. I'm not sure what that means with him and Sean Spears, as they still aren't getting anywhere with him, which again is disappointing to me because again I really want to see Sean Spears get somewhere, in AEW, since he was not booked well in the main roster in WWE. But that time will come, I hope. So we'll have to wait and see. But great opening match, I gotta say for sure. We have a promo from Jon Moxley that aired earlier in the day. Talk about MJF's campaign. He finds it entertaining, but people feel the need to talk about themselves all the time, rub him the wrong way. Usually the tough guys don't have to say much, and MJF talks a lot. What makes him wonder is, what are you hiding? Moxley admits that MJF is talented, and hopefully he helps the company succeed for the next 25 years. But Moxley feels like trash in the morning and may not have another year left in him, but MJF can be the guy one day. But unfortunately, that day is not September 5th. Instead, Moxley's going to beat the hell out of him. He's going to split his skull with his skull. And then when it gets down to it and the fight is on, Moxley will be in his own heaven, but MJF will be looking for a way out. And that's when we'll find out what he's been hiding. Which then we cut to MJF, who has a neck brace on, and talks about several other leaders and stuff, and other maniacs, but they're nothing compared to Moxley. He keeps calling Moxley John. He attacked him from behind. He's too gutless to take him from the front. He tells Moxley to look at him. I want to have kids someday. I want to be able to play with them, but I may not be able to because of Moxley. The paradigm shift is not a move. It's an abomination. MJF gets all emotional and such, and his lawyer takes over and says they believe the paradigm shift is a deadly move, and it may end MJF's career. The jury's still out on that, but think about your loved ones. They put up a petition online calling for the move to be banned, and they got nearly 5 million signatures, which I wonder what they did to get all those. So they drew up a contract that states that the move is banned in the title match at All Out. And all Moxley has to do is sign it. They taunt him with it, saying how Moxley is a badass, so why would he need it? But if he doesn't sign it, then they'll just sue him in obliviation. Sign it, John. Sign it. Oh boy. I watched a promo like this, and I think, a promo like this actually makes MJF look super knowledgeable and doesn't look like a freaking coward. And just his emotions are just excellent. Of course, they're trying to, sell, obviously, like he's milking an injury much more than it needs to be. I look at it and I think, if that was in WWE, they would make MJF probably look like the biggest, biggest, I don't want to say that word, it's too weird. They make him the biggest coward probably, and make him look super weak with something like this. But in AEW, of course, they don't. They actually make MJF look like he knows what he's talking about and can pull out truth, and of course he also can win matches without help all the time as well. And some of the tactics he plays, well, they're ones he does on his own. Like great psychology, again, just like, FTR. The reason why I always was huge fans of them, especially in NXT, is because they have great in-ring psychology. Their style is super simple, but it works, and they look like ultimate badasses, I think. So, I still cannot wait for that match at All Out. And again, I think that's where we will see MJF become the third AEW World Heavyweight Champion. We have an 8-man tag match with the Natural Nightmares and Jurassic Express taking on Butcher and the Blade and the Lucha Bros. This was a fun match. The babyfaces would beat the heels, but then afterwards, Eddie Kingston came out and grabbed the microphone, wondering why they couldn't get along tonight. They only beat you guys when you're divided. He puts them over the ring about how good they are. Yeah, they're losing because they can't get along. Come with me and everything we want will be ours. They all made up, hugged it out, and then Kingston smiled and winked at the camera. Apparently, rumors have it he did mention Rey Mysterio's name in this promo, but had to get edited out because apparently Rey has signed a new 3-year deal with WWE. So I guess Rey's not going to AEW, but interesting promo. Again, I'm starting to just though feel like they've gone a little bit in circles with the Lucha Bros, especially how they had this stable with Pac called Death Triangle that they were starting up before the pandemic, but Pac hasn't been seen since probably one of the first few weeks of the pandemic, so I'm not sure when he's gonna be coming back. He's probably staying over in England right now, but yeah, we'll see where this goes. Again, it's starting to say, okay, Lucha Bros can't keep going in circles here. We gotta actually get something going with them, I think. So we'll see where that goes. Oh boy. Then we see a video of Dr. Britt Baker getting upset at Penelope Ford and Kip Sabian, in their PDA inside the gym. She started yelling at them about the dangers of the saliva they're exchanging related to cavities, but she can help because she's a dentist. She'll do in exchange with some help with Big Swole. She wants to make their upcoming encounter a handicap match, which again was a match I thought was going to take place at All Out, but we're getting it next week. Ford and Sabian basically agree on the offer because Britt offered free makeup from Reba for an entire year. So I'm not sure what we're getting out of this with this return. I don't know if this is because, it's just in case if Britt Baker... This could be just like a test match, just in case to make sure, Britt's knee's okay before their one-on-one match. I look at All Out, which I'm hoping still happens for All Out. We'll have to wait and see. Speaking of matches, though, for All Out, we have Orange Cassidy being interviewed in the ring, joined by best friends. He's about to be asked about his big win over Chris Jericho last week. Well, that was before Jericho himself made his way out to the ring. Talks about he's only been pinned 3 times since coming to AEW. One of those times was last week with Orange Cassidy, the guy who puts his hands in his pockets. He's embarrassed, but he's proud of Orange because he proved that he's learning from Jericho, and he proved he has heart, desire, courage, and what it takes to be a big star in AEW. So he applauds him. But he wants to offer him a toast. But there's something that's bugging him. They both have one win over each other, which means they need to have the rubber match to find out who really is the better man. They can have the match in the ring, but they've done that twice, so why not take things to a different level? Add a stipulation. Simple storytelling there, it's effective. He wants to do something special, so he has an idea based on them. Cassidy is all about the orange juice, and Jericho is all about a little bit of the bubbly, so he makes sense to do what he calls a Mimosa Mayhem match, which is basically a match you have to win by pinfall or submission, or you get thrown into 80 gallons of vat of orange juice and the bubbly mixed in, which Cassidy accepts the challenge with a very lazy thumbs up. But then basically calls out a circle for a toast, and they surround the ring, and then they cause beatdowns, and they pour bubbly all over the baby faces in there. They all stood over them, and then it flipped them all off. So we're getting that match, which of course, again, definitely a match like that. Once again, WWE would not make it entertaining, they would make it annoying. But again, it's Chris Jericho and Orange Cassidy. I trust they're going to make this match work. So, getting it on pay-per-view as we should, and look forward to see what they do with this rubber match. So we have that match. Then we have Dark Order versus the Elite in a 6-man tag match. Pretty good match, good double teaming, or triple teaming, of course, whatnot. The Elite win, but after the match, Omega's getting pissed off again. He went to powerbomb one of the members of the Dark Order, but then Nick Jackson moved it out of the way in the last second, and the Bugs talked to him to try to calm him down, and then things cooled. He seemed to have walked out. Still teasing that heel turn from Kenny Omega. Again, we'll see when it happens. Could be as soon as All Out because of who I think are going to face the tag titles. Speaking of which, the tag titles, there's now going to be a gauntlet match to determine who will wrestle for the AEW tag titles at All Out. FTR will be in that match, and they know their thoughts while also knowing the relationship with Tully Blanchard. Oh, let me see here. Wheeler said they just want to be the best, and they'll learn to do that with Tully. He got on and said their desire to be the best, they'll win the gauntlet match and go to All Out to win the tag titles. Then in comes Hangman Adam Page yelling about what FTR did last week. FTR said they did what they did to do with had nothing to do with the Elite, so they came after them, and that's all that was. Harwood said he could see those guys, and if he could trust Adam Page, only Page was there when he hurt his knee. They're trying to sow some seeds of dissension within the Elite, bringing up the Bucks, maybe winning, and beating him for the tag titles. So, in the end, good luck to FTR. So this gauntlet match, I think obviously, well, first off, as I keep saying, do not have it come down to FTR and the Young Bucks. Obviously, it looks like FTR is going to be no more contenders and win the tag titles at All Out, as I think. So, we can't, we're guess not going to be doing the match with them and the Young Bucks. So, and even so, at first, I'm like, nah, don't worry about getting the titles involved in this feud. But at this point, you're going to tease two of the best teams in the world. Why not have the tag titles involved? So, maybe Full Gear. If not, they'll probably wait till next year, I'd say, to get the dream match with FTR and the Young Bucks. So we'll have to wait and see. Darby Allin took on Will Hobbs. He won the match. Afterwards, we get Taz on the microphone talking about a big surprise, which ends up being Ricky Starks came out dressed up like Darby Allin. He mocks him in a promo that was pretty funny, just repeating his own words back to him. And then Brian Cage came out from behind and attacked Darby Allin. Starks got in Allen's face while he was laid out and called him a joke. He doesn't need face paint to be somebody, and Darby is a joke. He hit him with a skateboard and then did the coffin drop from the second rope. So I'm guessing we're doing teasing a match. I mean, I thought we were going with Darby Allin and Brian Cage, but now I guess we're teasing something with Darby Allin and Ricky Starks. Either way, fine with me. Again, Brian Cage could use a good victory after losing to Moxley. At Fight for the Fallen. Ricky Starks seems talented. I find him interesting. So we'll see what he can do if he faces Darby Allin at some point as well. So we got that. And then Sammy Guevara was coming out holding a flashcard promo involving Matt Hardy. He said he was sorry to Matt for putting him down. He's sorry he can't catch chairs, which of course, again, kind of taking shots that he has heat because he used the wrong chair when he attacked Matt. And then he says, I'm sorry, Sammy's an idiot. He's about to be broken. Consider him deleted. And that was when Matt Hardy began attacking him with a chair from the back, super viciously. And then there's the setup for a tables match between these two next week. So even though it's not taking place at Dynamite, at All Out, should be an interesting match. We'll see what it is. And then we have a challenge laid out for Hikaru Shida for All Out, as Thunder Rosa from NWA appears on the screen. It says that fans have been calling for it, and everyone has been calling for it, but AEW women haven't. She's here though, and she's starting to she's coming for a championship at All Out, and she wants to win the title and nothing else. So we're going to be getting Thunder Rosa and Hikaru Shida at All Out. I don't know much about anything outside of AEW WWE right now, but this woman seems talented. I think her and Shida could probably put on a pretty darn good match. So we'll have to wait and see. We had the finals of the Deadly Draw Women's Tag Team Tournament. Diamond DeMonte and Evilise taking on the Nightmare Sisters, Brandy Rhodes and Allie. Decent match. Again, I don't really watch AEW Dark right now, so I wasn't really paying attention too much to this. I wasn't super duper into it, so that's why I was kind of a little bit out of it. But the heels won. the match, and they hold the trophy and ignored in favor of pulling out their respective country's flag and waving those while celebrating. And then we got the main event. It was Cody Rhodes taking on Brody Lee for the TNT Championship. Awesome match. It was brutal and just about 100% lopsided as Brody Lee pretty much squashed Cody Rhodes. Again, if you thought the John Cena and Brock Lesnar squash from SummerSlam 2014 was bad, you should have seen this squash. Brody Lee just dominated, and Cody Rhodes just never seemed to have a chance to throw a punch in there. Brody wins the TNT Championship. Afterwards, though, we get this awesome ending segment where Dark Order basically goes haywire. They attack Cody, who was being taken out on a stretcher, but they pulled him off and attacked him there. They attacked Arn Anderson, Cody's coach, and even, of course, backstage, you see them pull out Dustin Rhodes. And then, right when Brandy comes out to try to restore order, Anna Joy comes out, and she attacks and chokes out Brandy Rhodes as the Dark Order stand up top. Again, this was a very great ending. Again, I have definitely been back and forth about the Dark Order, but this segment right here, I'm like, that's what you gotta do. And I think it worked excellent. It was chaotic. It made them look good. It made Brody Lee look like a boss. Of course, I like also how he smashed a bag with something in it that we didn't know what it was at first onto Cody Rhodes, and then revealing that it was the former TNT Championship belt that he just dumped all the broken pieces onto Cody, hold up the new Championship belt, saying, here's your title, but here is mine. So not sure if we're getting a rematch, but obviously, again, they've been telling the story where Cody's getting a little rusty in the ring, so obviously they're trying to come across the fact that maybe Cody's just done a lot and just needs a little bit of a breather, kayfabe wise, which could be the case, but yeah, Brody Lee absolutely squashed him. And again, hats off to the Dark Order for definitely catching my attention with that beatdown at the end. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for Dynamite. Tyler says how Raw was boring tonight. Elite Squad says great main event segment. Really made the Dark Order look strong, especially Brody Lee. I agree. And Tyler gives it Dynamite an A. Again, I thought it was a really good show, but didn't quite hit classic for me. So I'll give it an A-. Of course, this week I'm starting to do Twitter polls again. I didn't get to do one for Dynamite this week since it was on at a different time. I wasn't going to be able to watch anyways. So yeah. I'll try to start those up again this week. So that's going to do it, guys. Again, I'll review Raw tomorrow night. I'll try to get to my video games, whatever. Again, I have 2 wedding videos got to edit right now. Wednesday is going to be NXT since Dynamite's on Thursday. Friday SmackDown. I'm going to do preview predictions for Payback as well, which I'll rant on a little bit in my Raw review tomorrow. So guys, I'm getting sleepy, so I'm going to get off here. What are your thoughts on Dynamite this week? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Slap a like on the video. Subscribe or comment on my channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAir183. Until then, guys, I am out. Have a good rest of your night. I'll see you guys all tomorrow to talk about Raw. Peace out, everybody.